Francis starts pounding Deadpool. Meanwhile, Vanessa escapes and turns him into small chops, only to get thrown across the room like a domestic violence.
How long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here. I don't think you guys walk away from this. You just make sure people know what happened here today.
The movie begins with Deadpool in the backseat of a taxi as we meet Dopender, the taxi driver. The two talk about how Dopender has no riz. Deadpool, aka Wade Wilson, tells him that he's on his way to exact revenge on the man that did this to him, this being his face. He then does a face reveal that is somehow better than Dreams. We cut to who I assume are the bad guys, having a weapons trade and a complimentary kinky choke session. Deadpool proceeds to break the fourth wall and spots his target as he jumps off a bridge into one of the cars and begins picking up the peaceful passengers who were probably on their way home to meet their beautiful families. The goons try fighting back, but they forgot that this is not their movie. Reinforcements then show up, so Wade gets the car in an accident, putting them in the same spot that they were at the start of the movie. Some The Boys level gore then happens that I'm not sure I'm allowed to show on YouTube. We cut to this big burly, big Russian metal tank having cereal while he watches the news. How does he even work? Are his insides also metal? Does he have a digestive system? Is his pee-pee also metal? I need to know. Anyways, back to the bridge. Deadpool plays peekaboo with the bad guys and explains to them that he only has 12 bullets left and that they'll all have to share. Insert cool CGI scene here. Insert cool biker guy. Biker guy makes Deadpool waste 3 bullets. Headshot, running scene, parkour. Bad guy number 16 runs out of bullets, reloads, wastes all his bullets again, and then runs into Deadpool in a slutty pose. Bad guy number 16 dies. Bad guys number 17 and 18 try to throw a grenade, but Wade shoots it and deletes them. Wade does an emote only to get shot in his nyash. He proceeds to off bad guy 19 and empty his mag in him. 3 more bad guys show up and corner Wade, but this is not their movie and he kills all of them with 1 bullet. Unfortunately, bad guy number 22 gets up because the bullet didn't actually kill him. He then tries to be a mini boss only to get turned into suya. We then cut to 2 years ago and Wade being a mercenary for hire as he threatened this pizza delivery guy because he was being a creep to this girl, so he basically gets hired to fuck up bad guys. He also goes to this bar/club for mercenaries. He proceeds to order a blowjob, which is a drink, sends it to some big dude and starts a bar fight because there's a bet on the black guy dying. He also finds out that the bartender dude, who is also his homie, bet on him to die, which surprises him a bit. Insert hot female character here. She introduces herself as Vanessa, but then she gets essayed by Father Christmas, and as Wade tries to make him apologize, she takes things into her own hands. Literally, they start flirting using some childhood trauma and play skee ball. Skip through a year long of and on Christmas night, Wade proposes to her with a ring he definitely pulled out of his nyash. She says yes and they're both happy for about 3 minutes because he passes out. Turns out he has humanity's most annoying disease, Aquarius. Cancer. I don't know why I made that joke. I thought it was funny. I'm so sorry. Cut back to the bridge as Wade catches and beats the living out of the guy that did this to him, aka Francis. So Francis was the one who made him immortal and Wade wants it undone because, you know, being immortal is low-key kinda ass. Anyways, and right as he's about to exert his revenge, Colossus comes and spoils his plans. Cut to some years ago again. We see Wade trying to go away because he doesn't want Vanessa to be part of this up situation. She's like, no, we can fight this together, blah blah blah. They kiss, end scene. Cut to the bar and Wade's homeboy tells him that some creepy guy who definitely looks like he has kids in his basement is looking for him and he gives him a card. The creepy guy is then like, we can cure your cancer and give you some more abilities, we'll make you like a superhero, but Wade declines. Later we see him crying because the nigga's gonna die, bro. Anyways, he says fuck it and makes the hard choice to leave Vanessa and hits the creepy guy up. Back to the bridge. Colossus tries to tell Wade that what he's doing is wrong, blah blah blah, stalling him, which leads to Francis escaping. Okay, I'm going to alternate between Wade and Deadpool because they're the same person. Anyways, Deadpool tries to fight, but this guy is a tank, so he gets defeated and arrested. And as they're taking him to Professor X, he cuts his own hand off and escapes. Cut back to Cancer Wade being taken away to the experiment lab where he gets strapped up and meets Ajax, and because he can't shut up, they close his mouth for him. Ajax then injects him with OG Compound V, and in order to activate his mutation, he's going to get tortured as if he was in a Mr. Beast video. Ajax explains how he was once a patient here as well, and that his power is that he cannot feel anything, and this lady's power is that she's freakishly strong. After a lot, and I mean a lot of torture, one night Wade is chatting with another patient when Ajax pulls up to with the patient, only for Wade to reveal to the patient that Ajax's real name is actually Francis, which pisses him off. And as Wade teases him a bit more, they take him to some movie science oxygen machine to torture him in order to activate his powers, revealing to him that they are not actually making him a superhero but a super slave. So they start taking his breath away, and this time it actually works. His mutated cells kill the cancer cells, but he's left with a face for radio in the process. Francis is then like he can cure the skin condition, but he won't because there's no fun in that, and that he'll lock Wade inside the machine again just for fun. And as Angel was about to lock him inside, he nods him out like Ronaldo. Francis then locks him inside the machine and leaves him in there. Turns out he somehow got the matchstick that was in her mouth, spits it out and lights it. He then tosses it into the oxygen vent and blows up the lab, starting a fire in the process. Francis comes down to extinguish the fire, but discovers that Wade escaped. My boy then sneaks attack him and the two start fighting. And I can't show this cause Wade gets straight up naked, so I'm just gonna skip through this. He got his ass beat, by the way. The lab burns down and from the ashes he arose because he just found out that he's actually immortal. Anyways, he starts stalking Vanessa for a bit, but he couldn't talk to her because he's afraid she'll judge his looks like everyone else. He chats with his homeboy for a bit and comes up with his superhero name. One superhero suit design montage and bullying goons for Francis's location later, and he finds creepy suit guy in a warehouse who tries to make a run for it but gets T-boned into a car and gets so bad that even we couldn't see what happened. Back to the future, and we fast forward to Wade coming back home to his roommate, this blind old lady called Al. The two chat for a bit and we cut to Francis getting patched up and planning to go find Wade this time. Back to Wade and Al chatting about how Vanessa would never accept him because of how chopped he looks. We then see Francis and Angel pulling up on Wade's homeboy at his bar in search of Wade, but my boy ain't no snitch. Somehow Francis spots Wade and Vanessa's pic behind him, so Shorty tries to get freaky, but they quickly realize that this isn't the place for that, so she lets him go. He then calls up Wade and he's like, shit is about to go down. So they head to the Vanilla Unicorn because that's where Vanessa works. And look, a Stan Lee cameo. After some searching, Wade spots her, and just as he's about to talk to her, his balls shrink and he dips. But Vanessa, she felt his presence. He goes to the bathroom to hype himself up. Meanwhile, Vanessa's boss tells her that some guy is looking for her outside, that he's her old boyfriend. So she goes out expecting Wade, but oh no, big surprise, it's Francis, and she gets taken away. When Wade goes outside to look for her, he finds her purse and is visibly frustrated. They then get a text from Vanessa's phone basically saying to come get her if you want her. So he packs up all the weapons in the house and is ready for war. But like, realistically, how is he gonna use all those weapons though? Like, come on bro. Cut to Vanessa getting cuffed and she tells them that her old boyfriend is dead and that they have the wrong girl. But Francis is like, nuh-uh. Deadpool goes to get reinforcements in exchange for the consideration of him joining the X-Men. Also, this dude kidnapped his cousin who stole his girl and put him in a trunk. Jesus Christ bro, how good is her? Anyways, they arrive at the location and do an epic slow-mo walk, only to realize that they forgot all the guns in the taxi. Angel does a superhero landing and starts charging forward. Colossus, trying to be a nice guy, gets knocked the out. Little lesbian girl launches big lesbian girl into a crate and bullets start to fly. Angel then goes after Colossus. My guy tries to put her in a chokehold, but she's not having it and starts landing hits on him. Wade gives himself a wedgie to use his underwear as a surrender flag and tries to negotiate with them, but they weren't having it too. So he goes in head first and starts removing them from life. And with some teamwork, he somehow manages to get up to where Francis is at. But he has Vanessa locked in that machine and he turns it on and picks up some weapons. Cue in super cool boss fight where the protagonist has the same powers as the antagonist, but not really because one of them has really fucked up skin and the other looks like that one prisoner that became a model. Francis starts pounding Deadpool. Meanwhile, Vanessa escapes and turns him into small chops, only to get thrown across the room like a domestic violence victim. Little lesbian then saves Colossus, who is getting choked out by blowing some shit up, launching Angel away and causing the platform to slide down. Francis gets hit by a container as Vanessa slides down, so Deadpool catches her, puts her into the machine, locks her in and tosses her off. Everything comes crashing down and we fade to black. Cut to Vanessa getting out of the pod and Francis coming back because he is not dead. Deadpool pounds him and asks him to Deadpool pounds him and asks him to fix his face, but turns out there's actually no cure for his skin condition. And just as Francis is about to meet the devil, Colossus comes in and ruins the fun, trying to be all inspirational, but nobody gives up and Francis gets popped in the head. Vanessa comes and Wade begins to apologize, and after some childhood trauma exchange again, she takes his mask off and vomits all over the floor. I'm joking. They make up and make out and they live happily ever after. Moral of the story, they didn't live happily ever after. Okay, she died in the... I'm sorry.